Hi folks, Shelley from Spin Cushions here. Today I'm going to show you how to make this square called Hudson from my Siren's Atlas collection. All the info on the blog, spincushions.com. So it starts with a very big circle in the middle. So the best way to do that and have it neat is to do a magic circle. So it's probably best one for a magic circle. Now I'm going to do mine all in one colour, but I'll let you know if you need to do anything different when we get to the corners, if you want to change colours, but I think it'll be pretty much the same anyway. Okay, so let's get started. Hang on, I've just got to find my hook. Okay, got my hook. Okay, so starting with a magic circle, I do have a YouTube video showing how to do this if you haven't done one before, rather than me trying to explain that here and now as well. Oops, sorry, it's tricky through the camera. Right, okay, now the first round is starts with chain 3 starting chain, or a false stitch as I like to do instead of the chain 3. Just helps for a more seamless look. And then we're going to do 31 trebles UK or doubles US in the magic circle. So I'm sure you don't need to see me make all of those, so I will do all of that and show you how to finish off and how to close off your circle to the right size. Okay, so I've done my 32 stitches. As you can see, it looks a bit unusual, but if I'm just going to take my hook out and we'll just make sure it's all nice, all around the right way, not twisted, before we pull our magic circle. Make sure this thread isn't twisted around the other one as well. Okay, I'm going to pull the magic circle closed, just sort of fiddle it with your fingers, pull it a bit more. I'm actually going to lay it down. So there we go, so I've got a hole about an inch, a little bit less than an inch across the centre, and put my thumb all the way through it. So now all we need to do is join with a slip stitch to our third chain of our starting chain, or our false stitch if you did one. Oops, I've split that. Okay. Right. I need to pull mine out a little bit. It's a little bit floppy. Bit wavy, I think. Okay, now you're going to need to weave that centre in very, very well, going backwards and forwards and maybe up and down a few stitches, because it's such a big opening, you haven't pulled it tight. Okay, so that's round 1 done. Round 2 is nice and simple. It's double crochets UK, single crochets US. We start with a stitch in the same place that we joined up our last round 2, same place as our slip stitch. And double crochet UK, single crochet US in every stitch around. So again, we'll have 32 stitches. So I will do my 32 stitches and come back and show you what to do next. I've done 30. This is 31 and 32, and we're just going to join with a slip stitch to our first stitch. Okay, the next round again is very simple. We're going to be doing this time all UK terms trebles or US terms doubles. We start with chain 3 starting chain or a false stitch, and then we're just going to do a stitch in every stitch around. So again, we're going to have 32 stitches. Oops. So that starting chain counts as 1, so this is 2. I'm sure you don't need to see me do all of that. So I will work my way around and show you how to finish off this one. Okay, so it's 32 stitches all the way around. So now I just need to join up with a slip stitch to my false stitch, or your third chain of your starting chain, if that's how you did it. Okay, now the next round again is going to have 32 stitches, but this time they're going to be spike stitches, and we're going to work them basically in the same place we worked our last stitches. So at the base of every stitch we work, we're just going to work a spike double crochet UK or spike single crochet US in every stitch. So the trick is to pull up a long loop, like longer than you think. that's 1, and then 2, 3, 4, all the way around. And you can see it gives us this nice sort of curved cup look, which I really like. This is a good round to change colour if you are doing different colours, because it shows the difference with the spikes and the solid behind it. So I'll work my 32 stitches and come and show you what's next. So there you have it, the spike round, all done. So again, 32 stitches. It's amazing how it all works, isn't it? So now we're just going to join up with a slip stitch to our first spike stitch. And now we're going to start squaring off. Now, this round is quite easy. All we're going to do is do a double crochet UK, single crochet US in the same place as that slip stitch. Then we're going to chain 1 and do a double crochet UK, single crochet US in the next stitch. So all the way around. So this time we're going to have 32 stitches and 32 one chain spaces. Nice and easy. I'll finish that off and show you what's next. Okay, so I've done all my repeats. All I need to do now is join up with a slip stitch to my first stitch. Okay, now round 6 is going to be the one, if you don't read it properly, will trip you up. But it isn't difficult, you just have to pay attention. What's tricky is the corner is actually made up of 3 stitches here, but there's 3 stitches either side as well, with a chain space skipped either side. So if you just take it step by step, you'll be fine, but a lot of my testers got caught up on this one. So the first thing is chain 3 starting chain or false stitch. Then we're going to do a treble UK WS in the same stitch as our slip stitch. Then we're going to chain 2, skip the 1 chain space, and in the next stitch do 3 stitches, trebles UK, doubles US. 1, 2, 3. Then we are going to skip the 1 chain space in the next stitch, and starting here we're going to do a double crochet in the 1 chain space. It's not the stitch, the 1 chain space. Chain 1, skip the stitch, and a stitch in the 1 chain space. We do that 3 times. Chain 1, skip 1, in the space, chain 1, skip 1. Then we'll do a stitch in the 1 chain space. We'll skip the next stitch and 1 chain space, and in that next stitch we'll do 3 trebles UK, doubles US. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to chain 2. We're going to skip the 1 chain space, and in the next stitch do 3 stitches, trebles UK, doubles US. Oops. And we're back at the start of our repeat again. So we'll be doing this section again. Chain 2. So that's our side, and that really is our corner there, but it's got 3 stitches on either side of it. So work your way around. It will work if you trust it, and I'll show you how to finish this round off. Okay, I've almost finished my repeats. All I need to do is I'm up to the skip 1 stitch and 1 chain space and do 3 stitches in the next stitch, which is here. Oops. One. Sorry. 2, 3. We're going to chain 2, and we're going to do a stitch in the same place as our first stitches. Sorry, we're skipping the 1 chain space. Yep. And we're going to join with a slip stitch to our first false stitch or 3rd chain of your starting chain. If I can find it, there it is. Okay, so we've started to square off. Alright, round 7. Okay, so round 7, we're going to start with chain 3 starting chain or a false stitch. Then we're going to do a treble UK WS in the same place as our slip stitch. Then we're going to start our side, which is a half treble UK, half WS in the next stitch. Then we're going to do 1 double crochet UK, single crochet US in the 2 chain space. We're going to do a same stitch in the next 2 stitches. Then we're going to do a half treble UK, half WS in the next stitch. So that's in the last stitch of the 3 group. Then we're going to do this mini repeat where we're going to chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and in that 1 chain space do a treble UK or a WS. So that's our repeat. It's 1, chain 1, skip 1, 2, chain 1, skip 1, 3. Then we're going to chain 1, skip 1, and do a half treble UK, half WS in the next stitch. If you can do that without it falling off your hook. Then we're going to do doubles UK, singles US, 1 in the next 2 stitches, 1 in the 2 chain space. Then we're going to go on to almost our corner. The last stitch of the side is a half treble UK, a half WS in that stitch. Now our corner is worked in the middle stitch here, and it is a treble UK WS followed by a half double treble UK or a half triple US and a treble UK WS, all in the same stitch. So that's our side from there to there, and those little 3 stitches are our corner. So I'll work my way around and show you what happens next. Alright, repeats are done. I just need to do a treble UK WS in the same place as our first stitches. Then join with a slip stitch to your 3rd chain of your starting chain or your false stitch if that's what you did. Alright, so that's that. Round 8. Okay, we're going to do double crochet UK, single crochet US in the same place as our first stitch. Then we're going to do the same stitch in the next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now every time we come to a 1 chain space, we're going to be doing a spike stitch in the stitch that we skipped before. So we've got 3 times doing this little repeat, a spike stitch in this stitch down here, spike double crochet UK, single crochet US. Then we're going to do a stitch in the next stitch, WK, single US. So that's 1 repeat. Two, 3, then we've got 1 more spike stitch to do. Then it's simply a double UK, single US in the next 6 stitches. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And that's our side. And our corner in this case is a double crochet UK, single crochet US, 2 chain, and another double crochet UK, single crochet US. So that's it. Fairly simple side. We're on the home stretch now. Nearly done. I'll show you what happens next. Okay, repeats are done. All I need to do is a stitch in the same place as our first stitch, which is a double crochet UK, single crochet US. Now if you're changing colours here, chain 2, join with a slip stitch to your first one. If you're not, chain 1, and if you're new to working my way, where'd my stitch marker go? Chain 1, pop a little bit of scrap of yarn in before you join with a double crochet UK, single crochet US to your first stitch. So instead of joining with a slip stitch, we're joining with a stitch. All that does is puts us as if we're in the middle of the 2 chain space, and we'll work over that stitch in the next round. Okay, so the next round is made up of half trebles UK or half doubles US. So we're going to chain 2 as our starting chain, and we are going to do a half stitch in each of the 21 stitches along the side. So we're not doing one in the 2 chain space, we're just doing one in each stitch along the side. Oops, fumble fingers. Sorry about the light, I've moved my table. Now I can't find my stitch. There it is. One, and there'll be 21 of these along the side, and in each 2 chain corner space we'll be doing 1 stitch, 2 chain, 1 stitch. Again, all half trebles UK, half doubles US, all the way around. And I will show you what to do when you get to the end. Alright, I've done my repeats all the way around. I just need to do a stitch in the same place as our first stitch, which is where this little stitch marker comes in handy. It's exactly where you need to poke your hook, where that is. So a half treble UK, half double US. If you're changing colours, chain 2, join with a slip stitch. If you're not, chain 1, oops, if I can find it, move your little scrap of yarn or stitch marker up, and join with a double crochet UK, single crochet US to the top of your second chain of your starting chain. Oops, gone through. Okay, and we have one more round to go, which is just a double crochets UK, single crochets US. The first one is in, we do a stitch over the joining stitch, which is where the stitch marker is, and then a stitch in every stitch all the way along the side. And our corners again are 1 stitch, 2 chain, 1 stitch, and those stitches are double crochets UK, single crochets US. And that's our last round, so I'll come back and show you what it looks like when it's finished. Okay, repeats are done. I just need to do 1 stitch in the same place as our first stitches, which is where that stitch marker is. And then we're going to chain 2 and join with a slip stitch to our first stitch. Take that out, give it a snip, and then we have Hudson pretty much done. Bit in the ends, obviously. Alright, it will benefit from a quick block. Let's have a look compared to this one. Alright, so this is the Bendigo Woolen Mills 8-ply cotton, and this is Cascade Ultra Pima cotton. They're pretty similar. This one's slightly different. If you need to alter the size, then just leave off the last round of this one. If you need to make it bigger, add another round just like the last one. And there you have it, Hudson from my Siren Atlas collection. Hope you enjoy making it. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.